Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 16 and 17 sums up this week's Torah portion perfectly. 3 times a year, on the Feast of Unleavened Bread, on the Feast of Weeks, and on the Feast of Booths, all your males shall appear before your God in the place that God will choose. They shall not appear before God empty-handed, but each with his own gift, according to the blessing that your God has bestowed upon you. When it's the Feast of Weeks, one should bring his tithe, that is, 10% of all of his harvest to the place where God has decreed. So it means, if it is your harvest is 10 tons, you're required to bring 1 ton as a tithe. But this is very interesting. If you're coming from afar off, from a very far place, then God says you can convert your tithe into money, hold it tightly in your hands, and head to Jerusalem, the place where he decreed. And then one should buy, whether it be cattle, sheep, grain, oil, wine, anything according to his desires, so that he can have a feast there with his family, right? He is also to remember in all of this the Levite who does not have an inheritance because he does not own land, and the poor in his local community. This is to be done so that he remembers to reverence God. Why should I remember to reverence God? Because it is God who has given us good seed, and he is the one who has given us the return on our investment of sowing, spending time taking care of the crop, and he who has given us the harvest in the set time. The harvest is your blessing from God, who only requires a tithe of 10%. The other 90% belongs to you. God is so generous. We must never forget that he is the one who has given us the ability to get wealth. And he requires us to have a good eye and give according to how we are blessed. Another aspect of Shavuot is covered in the Haftarah. Habakkuk chapter 3 verses 1 to 19. This is the prayer of the prophet Habakkuk. In verse 3 it says, God is coming from Teman, the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. God's majesty covers the skies, such splendor fills the earth. The great sage Rashi explains that when God came to give Torah, he went around to Esau, who is represented by Teman, and Ishmael from Mount Paran in Genesis 21:21, and they did not accept it. Both Esau and Ishmael became great nations. Israel, who is represented by Jacob, was a person or a nation that said yes to Torah. However, so universal is Torah for the nations of the earth that at Mount Sinai, when Israel was being given Torah, that the mixed multitude of the 70 nations that left Egypt with them also received Torah. We can look at it in Exodus 19 and forward. Because they were all at the foot of the mountain and they were all in unity. And each man heard the Torah in his own language as it was being given to Moshe. Shavuot is not only the commemoration of this wonderful life-changing event of Ziman Matan Torah, the giving of Torah, but God has made a yearly appointment with us so that we can receive as he pours out of himself into us. Don't be like Esau and Ishmael and reject the crown of Torah. It is for everyone. Accept and receive Torah today. It goes on to say in the first part of verse 9 of chapter 3, all barred and ready is your bow, sworn are the rods of the world, Selah. God revealed his might, reinforced his covenant with the tribes of Israel, and made a perpetual statement that is to last forever on Shavuot, when he gave his Torah. The word of God is everlasting, just like God is eternal. May you receive the crown of Torah. May you choose to receive the crown of Torah that is perpetual, that has power to save, to heal, and restore. God bless you.